And we're back! Yay! Ben, we're back! Hello and welcome to your Saturday night edition of Fleetcast. Oh, it's been such a long time since I've said that. Oh, yes. So we took a little bit of a sabbatical because we had to be grown-ups. Ben had to move, I had to parent, so we took about a month and a half off. And you've had the amazing Emu, who's been holding down the fort with his Let's Write sessions on a Wednesday. But we are now back with the promised episode of just going through all the theories for the new season of Doctor Who starts. Yes. How are you doing, Ben?
I am very good. I, as you said, have just moved. I've moved in with my partner. I'm actually on my new computer. I say new, I got it in March.
Yeah, something like that.
I've just been using the laptop up until now, so completely new setup on my end, which...
Yes, and you can't see it, but everyone else can. We're actually on the new setup on the screen as well. We're on, because this technically counts as season 2 of Fleetcast, because it's been a year since we started doing this properly.
Oh, damn.
So yeah, so we started doing it Halloween sort of last year. So this has been a year, and I have changed all the screen layouts. So we are now in a mystical purple and blue universe screen. And it looks lovely, and I like it. And yeah, it's going to be the theme now from going on. People would have had like a slight hint of it with the quizzes, because we've been doing the monthly quizzes on YouTube. But no, this is the first proper podcast with the setup outside of Let's Write.
Okay.
But yes, this episode is kind of basically us debunking and talking about our theories of Doctor Who and what we think is going to happen in Joy to the World and just going forward into season 2/15.
Yeah, it's season 50. I don't care
15,
what
yeah.
the BBC want to call it.
Yeah, but yes.
But,
yeah. I think we need to start with just a quick recap of what happened in season 13. Do you want to go quickly do a quick recap?
Okay, so goblins, space babies, maestro / child of the toy maker that does music.
The Beatles.
Stuff. Yeah, which by the way, Maestro not being a complete musical episode, missed trick.
Yes. What else?
Especially because both Millie Gibson and Ncuti Gatwa were actually reasonably good singers. Well,
yes.
Millie Gibson a very good singer, Ncuti Gatwa were reasonably good.
What else have we had? We've had
Boom.
Yes.
Doctor steps on a landmine. Following week, Doctor steps on a fairy circle and disappears. He needs to learn to look where he's going.
Yes.
Following week, not quite as super racist as third episode of TNG. Then it was Rogue.
Yes.
/ Captain Jack.
Should have been.
Budget. It's weird. The actor is very, very good, but I just look at the character and I see budget Captain Jack.
Yeah.
And then finally, we had Fake Out Susan and return of Sutek, where they completely ignored that he's an Alieno siren, which I really hope that if they ever do bring him back, which they do have the trick to do, thank you, Duplicate TARDIS, they actually reconcile those 2 points.
Okay, right. That was actually a really good rundown. But yes, so a lot had happened in season 14. A lot. But I think we need to start with our theories on who the woman is at the end.
Mrs. Flood.
Mrs. Flood, yes. I think we need to talk about her.
Right, so I'm going to start by upsetting you a great deal. So, First of all, I agree that it would be really, really good to make her the Rani.
I want the Rani!
But, notably, the Rani has been incredibly absent from the entirety of New Who.
But it hasn't. He mentioned her at one point. In the box episode with my favorite ever episode, where the TARDIS becomes a woman. I'm pretty sure she was mentioned in that.
I'll be honest, I've not watched that one in so long.
It's the best episode.
Yeah, but I was watching a video from Who Culture.
Okay. Oh, I love them.
So do I. They are my morning getting ready for work podcast routine.
Love them.
And anyway, one of the points made was that the Rani has been very absent, and apparently there's a lot of conjecture that it's to do with rights, because of course back when Classic Who was being made, the writers usually kept the rights to their villains. That's also why we've just had a couple of Tom Baker ones removed.
Yeah. I hadn't thought on that, but I was pretty sure that she's been mentioned at some point.
The problem is there was also a character called Rani in the Sarah Jane Adventures, and there was also a random woman in an episode of Doctor Who called Rani as well.
Yeah.
However, I'm mildly hopeful, but I'm putting it in my would be really good, but I don't think it's very likely.
Well, I think it's possible just because it's Davis, and he jokingly, when we had the last of the Time Lords and the Master's ring was removed, from the funeral pyre, he jokingly mentioned it was the hand of Rani, and I just think he kind of has this thing. Even like Stephen Moffat is like Davis's successor. That he said like he had no reason kind of to bring back the Rani, but Davis has hinted at it, many times.
And I'm gonna respectfully also disagree with there was no reason to bring back the Rani. Literally, Missy could have been the Rani.
Yeah, there are so many ways that they could bring the Rani back, and I really do hope, because I think Kate Amara was an amazing actress for the character, and I would just love to see something other than the Master. I would love to see some other bad Time Lord. So that's my fear, and I really do hope that we do get to see the Rani. But I also don't know. I just don't know if this character, the more I'm thinking about it, because we've had 2 months since we filmed sort of that last episode. Really, it's been about roughly about 2 months, and I don't know. There's just something about it, and the fact that she's called Mrs. Flood. I have this nasty theory. It's River Song.
I actually have I have a theory riffing on that.
Okay.
Which would make it'll be very, very dark, but it would also tie into what was said in the previous series.
Okay, go on then.
The Doctor of the Song spent 23 years on Delorium or whatever it's called. Is it possible that she is actually the child of the Doctor in River Song?
It could be.
There was the comment of how can you have a daughter before a granddaughter, which, by the way, still don't like the wording. It's like, it should have been, how can you have a daughter before you have a child? But that's not here nor there.
Yeah, and it's kind of, I absolutely hope that I love a good timey-wimey story. I absolutely thrive on timey-wimey stories, as you fully are aware from Solar Force.
Yeah.
But I just don't know. I don't know. It would make sense. Because the naming. But yeah.
So here's my fear on how you make it work as well. So I'm sorry, I'm going into slight fan fiction-y stuff here.
Okay. We love a good fan fiction. We are a fan fiction writing group, after all, Obsidian Fleet.
True. So the 12th Doctor and River spend 23 years or 21 years, whatever it was, on that planet. They have a child during that time.
Yep.
And then during the course of events, you have, obviously, the Doctor eventually lets River bog off to go to the library, knowing full well she's going to die.
Yeah.
Said child finds out about this after the fact, and now she has a bugbear with her father.
Oh my god, it's gonna be like that Time Force comic with the sister of Alex.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Yay! Oh, I'm in. I am on board this. I am accepting this headcanon, and I am on the wagon. I'm woo.
Yeah, I just really like the idea of that, and also it gives you an enemy that the Doctor is not going to be willing to kill.
But he's also probably not going to expect it.
Mm.
It will be very much like season 4 season 4 of Doctor Who when the Master returned. He did not expect that.
End of time, yeah.
Yeah, he
The series 3 was the first time Master came back.
Oh, that's the one I'm thinking of. Yes. Yeah. No, I forgot that.
Utopia, yeah.
Yes, that's the season I was thinking of. I got a bit confused because I thought we had more seasons of Rose. Yeah, we won't go into that one. But yeah, so that's we know I love season 2 of Doctor Who. I love the music, the torch. The theme song. It goes doom, doom, doom. That's my favorite. That is my favorite music that they've ever produced in Doctor Who.
Interestingly, I rewatched series 2 recently.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a new favorite episode.
Okay.
The Idiot's Lantern.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Well, no, purely because that is one of the first times we see David Tennant's Doctor do just pure rage.
It's the burning intensity of it all. But yeah, so I find how they've left this series very, very interesting.
Yeah. Bless you.
There's a lot of threads that we still need to gather, and Mrs. Flood is the biggest one, I think.
Yeah, and I do have one more theory for her.
Okay.
Well, we know that Maestro's daddy dearest was the toy maker.
Yes.
There's no reason why Mrs. Flood couldn't be Maestro's mother.
True. But what would she be on the Pantheon?
Stories. That's something that's been floating around on the internet.
Ooh, Benjamin.
I like it.
I like it.
Also, it explains how she already knows how the Doctor's going to die at the end of his first series.
And it's the way she said it. Oh, something around. Did she say something like, "Oh, how his stories end"?
Yeah. What happened? Yeah, and you're probably wondering what happened to that traveler known as the Doctor. Well, I'm very sad to say that his story ends in absolute terror.
Benjamin, that is the one I want. I don't want the Randy. I want that one. I want it. I want that one. But yeah, no, I really, really like that theory, and it does kind of line up because Davis has said that we're going to see more of the Pantheon. That and the fact that he literally name dropped everyone,
including a couple that we saw in classic Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm. I do very much feel like he is kind of trying to bring back more classic-y stuff. And I know it sounds weird because Davis has always tried to put his own stamp on stuff. But looking back, he was always a big believer in classic monsters.
Well, he put back in a classic monster each one of his series. And he's kept it, like, with having put Sutek in this season, he actually kept that trend going.
He really has. And
So the only classic villains that he didn't bring back were the Zygons, the Silurians, and the Sea Devils.
Yeah.
In terms of the ones that we've had back.
And obviously we've got the special unit episode soon, haven't we? With the Sea Devils.
Yeah, the war between land and sea.
Can't wait for that. It's amazing.
I'm very curious as to how it's going to fit in.
I'm excited, and yeah, because I've been delving quite a lot into the audiobooks. Okay. Because I wanted to find out more about Torchwood, because I don't know about you, but have you seen all these rumours about Torchwood on the internet in the last 24 hours?
Not in the last 24 hours, no.
Oh, there has been a lot, to the point that John Barrowman has had to speak up to say it's not true. And you can imagine.
Let me guess, there was something saying that it was all coming back, and...
Oh yeah, but it's been to the point that it's been everywhere. It's been on Nerdy Up North. It's been on. I've seen it on any nerdy social media that I am part of. I've seen it at least 3 or 4 times because because someone has done a proper job of trying to fool people in the last 24 hours. It's impressive. Let's put it this way.
This is where it turns out that John Barrowman is pulling an Andrew Garfield here.
I can't believe that Disney would bring it back and not have told anyone before now, because they're saying it's like out like this month, I think.
Oh no, they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, no, Disney wouldn't have. Disney aren't able to keep their mouth shut. You know, they would not have been able to pull it off like that.
Yeah, list of people who can keep a secret at Disney. Kevin Feige.
Yeah,
This is the list.
That's about it. There is no list. You know. Though I will say, Agatha all along. Plot twist.
I've not watched it yet.
Then you've got to.
The problem is, I really struggled with WandaVision. Because it's just because
down the road, down the witch's road. There we go. I got out.
I know that they address Scarlet Witch and what happened to her in Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, okay, I've read comic books. I know how this works.
I'm excited because I have a lot of theories there. And I'm excited to see how it happens with Doom.
I mean, I have theories about Doom.
Yes.
Sorry, I got completely off of Doctor Who for a minute.
Yes. Okay. It's Disney. We're in the same universe. It's fine.
Yeah. So we know that they have RDJ as Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
Which I kind of love because he was the runner-up back when they were doing the films with Ian Grufford and Jessica Alba for the role. So he got the role. It just took him 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited to see him play a bad guy.
Well, my theory is obviously there's the comic where Doctor Doom, where Victor Von Doom and Tony Stark were roommates, and basically Doom switches bodies with Tony Stark. I'm fully expecting, because they're still doing the multiverse bits, that to be how they explain him away, and how they explain he's got Tony Stark's face.
Possibly, yeah.
However, in the comics, Victor Von Doom wears the Doctor Doom mask all the time because he is horrifically scarred. Now, this happened due to a lab accident, which he then blamed Reed Richards, who he'd worked on the project with, for, even though it was actually caused by him tampering with the experiment to try and make it work the way he wanted. My theory is very, very different, because we're also going to Secret Wars, which, for those who don't know, is when Spider-Man got his best suit. AKA the black suit, and that has already been set up at the end of No Way Home. I reckon that we are going to see Doctor Doom end up getting into a very ill-advised fistfight with a symbiote-powered Spider-Man, and that's going to be how he gets scarred up.
Okay.
Because A, it gives you a really good way to differentiate Black Suit Spider-Man from regular Spider-Man. Because you give him that brutality, which we've already seen shades of.
Yeah.
But the whole thing with a symbiote is that takes all of the worst aspects of a person and shoves them straight up to the top.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you've also got a reason for it to be personal for Doom with the various characters. Plus, we know how well Robert Downey Jr. and Tom Holland actually play off each other. And let's be real, there is a very high probability that Spider-Man is probably going to be the main character in the next Avengers movies. I'm
excited for that because I am Tom Holland's biggest cheerleader. I think he is goodness in and out. I've got a lot of love for him, and the fact that I feel very much like he is my Spider-Man. But yes, shall we get back to Doctor Who?
Yes, sorry.
It's travelling down the witch's road. So we've spoken about Mrs. Flood. I think we need to address the Susan name dropping.
If she doesn't turn up now, I'm going to be hacked off.
Yeah, I think there is no way for her not to have been mentioned, for it to not have been such a thing for this whole season, for it not to have been brought in at some point.
Also, and correct me if I'm wrong, I seem to recall reading somewhere that Carol Ann Ford had even said she'd be open to coming back.
She's been open for a while, and she appeared on, like, didn't she appear on when they used to do the proms? She appeared at the prom, the Doctor Who prom.
So that would also be a very interesting dynamic because now the Doctor's granddaughter is older than he is.
Yes, which I think is amazing. That would be such a good
Mm.
spin. Because in some of the books that I've seen, she manages to get back to like 1960s London.
Mm.
I don't know if it was you telling me or whether that was in
Uh,
my research. She
I've
manages to get back to 1960s London after her husband passes away, and I think she has a child with
I
her
know
in
she
tow.
has a child
Yeah,
because he appeared. So both him and her appeared in the Paul McGann Big Finish stuff.
that's probably where I've seen it.
Yeah. Which I've not actually listened to that one, but I know it was on there.
I would highly recommend if you've got the budget or you've got other ways of finding them, to listen to them. Some of them are really good,
A
and they
lot of
do.
them are on Spotify.
Okay, didn't know that.
Mm.
That's handy to know. Um, but yeah, I would be really disappointed if we get to all this road and I've got all this Susan Twist stuff for it not to have been them to not have fake us out on a fake out again.
Yeah.
I would be really upset.
Which also they have done before.
They have, they
Because,
River Song was such a fake out.
well, the other one was actually He Will Knock Four Times.
Yes,
Because
that's a good one.
they kept doing all these fake outs, and then they also, cause when they first said it, everyone's like, "Oh, it's got to be the Master," but it's like no, and they even kept saying, "The Master's dead, the Master's dead,"
Yeah,
even
yeah,
though we saw the bit with the ring at the end of Last
yeah,
of the Time Lords.
yeah.
And then, of course, you get to the start of the end of time, and you've just got the shot of the Master laughing. It's like, yep.
Yes. But should we talk about Joy to the World?
Yes.
Okay. What do you think of the
Sorry, I don't like
trailer?
Christmas.
What do you think of the trailer?
I've not watched. There's a trailer.
It's a trailer, yeah. Been out about 2 months.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Okay, so then we can't really talk about it.
I knew there was an episode coming, but I thought it was theories.
No,
You already...
no. They've given us like a 5 minute like intro into it.
Oh, okay.
So basically, we meet Joy. She goes to a dodgy hotel, and
Oh yes, I have seen this.
I was gonna say I was really confused. I was like, "Hang on a minute,"
We had a conversation about this.
and this is why we needed to get back to it, Benjamin.
Guys, never move house.
It's stressful, isn't it? It's really stressful.
If you guys have ever watched Scott Bakula's, I flitter on whether it's his best or second best work. But my brain is currently Swiss cheesed.
Oh, bless you. But yeah, so yeah, you've seen it, and obviously she asks for the Doctor keeps appearing in rooms asking for if someone's ordered a pumpkin spice latte, pumpkin spice latte and a cheese toasty, and obviously there's Joy with an alien, and then it kind of ends. So yeah, you have seen it. Did it make an impression?
No, it was just a long time ago. I want to know how the cheese toasty factors in. Because I remember that was the conversation. The conversation was about toasties.
Yes. I think it's going to be a very different type of Christmas episode, but I am very surprised at the fact that it's only 49 days to Christmas. We've not had a big trailer.
Yeah,
Have we got any big events coming up? We haven't got any big like television events, have we?
60th anniversary of Doctor Who's in 2 weeks' time. Sorry, 61st anniversary, but
they won't do anything for that. I can't.
Children in Need's coming up.
Then that's probably where we're going to get the trailer, or we're going to get
Except for they've just pulled off the last year's Children in Need special, which I wouldn't think they'd do that if they're only dropping a trailer this year.
I'm trying to think. When did we get the special episode? Did we get the special episode for Red Nose Day?
No, actually during Children in Need.
What has it been that long?
Yeah.
Freaking hell.
Because that was technically the 14th Doctor's first episode. Which is appropriate, because the 10th Doctor's proper first episode was also a Children in Need.
Yeah, okay, right. Time now seems very irrelevant. Okay then.
So I suspect. I don't know if we're going to get a trailer or if we're going to get a lead in.
But we've had the lead in. Like, we had the 5 minute lead in.
No. The thing is, what they can do is they can do a lead in to that lead in. And explain the cheese toasty.
I think when we do this episode, when we review Joy to the World, I think we're going to be quite upset over a cheese toasty. I've got a feeling. My vibes are going already.
What's going to happen is the cheese toasty is going to be completely irrelevant.
Yeah, and we're going to be annoyed. But yeah, so I think it's interesting because we don't know anything about Joy. We don't know anything about the alien that's with her, other than he's one of the spiky aliens that we saw in
End of Time,
End of Time.
Or like the one in Voyage of the Damned, Banacafalata.
Both. I might be merging them.
But they established that they were different species. I seem to recall. Because you've got the bit where
because he gets upset, doesn't he?
Because the Doctor makes the comment of, I met one of your kind once, except for it was all little and red, and then the Doctor gets told that's racist.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and I think it's really funny that we just haven't had
anything.
That's something, like, we haven't even had like a trailer for like next season. And I think that's
going to be tacked on the end of the Christmas special.
Yeah, I just find it really interesting that we don't know anything about next season. Like, we've been told nothing, really.
Theory.
Okay.
What if the reason they're not really giving us anything on this particular special is because they're trying to keep people guessing as to whether or not this is going to be the actual point when they introduce the new companion?
It could be. It could 100% be now. But I'm very interested to see how that dynamic is going to play. Whether it's going to be like, what are they called? Tegan and Nyssa. Because normally, you know, Davis is very much, he's a one companion, one doctor. You know, the companion is normally someone from Earth. They're very much bright and breezy. You know, don't get me wrong, we've had companions come with them. Like, we've had, like, Jack and Mickey. But they don't stay for long.
The thing is, hasn't it been pretty much confirmed that Ruby's not in a huge amount of the next series?
I don't know, because they said it, and then it was taken back, and then Nagati, you know, was kind of coming out in support of her, and it's very confusing.
My hunch is Ruby is going to get the Martha treatment.
Oh, I hope not.
Well, to be fair, he's already done better than he did with Martha, because Martha was not a hugely well-realised character.
Yeah, I guess so.
It doesn't help that they introduced her to replace Rose, who was very much loved.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they made her quite unlikable.
Yeah,
like,
and it
wasn't a case of she was unlikable or the fact that she was replacing Rose. She was unlikable as a person.
Yeah, and the fact that they picked up her mum and it became nothing. It wasn't anything out of the ordinary. It was kind of a non-plot. Like, we had like the whole thing around, there was a song inside of her and all this, and something still bugs me around it. I still don't believe that she's normal, like normal human.
I just
yeah.
If they never bring her back, I won't lose sleep over it.
Yeah.
She, in my opinion, is the weakest companion from Russell T Davies' original run.
Okay.
Not in the entire show. Ironically, the weakest companion in the entire show comes from one of my favourite seasons, Bill.
Yeah, and I
love
hate
season 10.
I hate the fact that Bill is the weakest companion, and that's nothing against Pearl Mackie, because I think she is absolutely incredible.
She is a good actress.
I think some of the stylings and some of the plot points she was given,
what didn't help,
were not good.
Is because of the fact that she was the first openly gay companion. They felt the need to bring it up at every possible opportunity.
Yeah, and I'm saying this as a bisexual woman. I even I, was very much like, oh no, this doesn't need to be sort of as as it needed to be.
Yeah, they threw it in your face far too often,
Yeah.
and it's like, we get it. You don't need to remind us every 5 minutes. It's like,
Yeah.
you didn't feel the need to remind us, for example, that Donna was straight all the time.
I also think, they didn't need to remind us Jack all the time. And Jack was played
Jack was done
very
well.
Jack was done very well because it was just very blasé. It was very much that's him. And
Uh,
I think they missed a trick with Bill
I actually,
so
so
much.
I hate to say it, Doctor Who just doesn't do well with LGBTQ women.
100%, and that's not just Doctor Who. That's across quite a lot of television programs and
Mm.
movies. They don't write them very well because
Yeah, because
they're written by men.
the one that, ironically, and I say this as someone who hates the character, Yaz was done quite well in that she was done as someone who wasn't necessarily entirely comfortable in her own sexuality on it.
Yeah, and do you know something? I absolutely love Yaz for that. Yaz is possibly one of my favourite characters that Doctor Who has ever created, other than Ripsong.
My issues with her stem from the fact that she has no, like, outside of her sexuality, which doesn't come into her last 3 episodes, I believe.
It's hinted at before then.
Yeah, but outside of that, she has no arc. She doesn't really progress as a character.
Yeah,
And even then, once she's come to terms with it, she is then back to being the exact same character she was in her first episode. And that's why I don't like her.
yeah. No, I can understand that, but I do. I have a lot of love for Yaz because she was the weakest out of the trio, but I kind of just vibed with her. I don't know.
That's fair.
It's probably me. I
Yeah.
vibed with her. I like her. But
I,
yes,
yeah, to be fair, just 13's companions
I
outside of
think
Graham I didn't like.
yeah. But
Uh,
Joy to the World. It's just
yeah.
it's. I don't know what they're gonna do because we've not really had even like
So,
anything written around it.
list of possible options: introducing new companion,
Yeah.
bringing someone back, and I don't want to let on to that,
Yeah.
or it is a classic villain, which again they don't want to let on to.
Yes, because we've literally got nothing really. there's,
Yeah.
there's nothing. There's not even like I don't think we've even had like
See, what I would love them to do for this is, because Christmas stuff, if ever there's a special that's perfect to bring the toy maker back again, it is a Christmas episode.
yeah.
And like, because he fits it perfectly.
Yeah, he really you could have the snow in it, it could be an old fashioned scene, an old fashioned like
Yeah.
toy shop.
And
Oh,
just
it would be beautiful.
and just have all the nutcrackers and
Yeah.
everything. Like, that would be brilliant.
Mhm.
Whether or not they would do that,
I don't think they would do it so soon after.
yeah, that's the. I reckon if they do that, it's going to be when Russell T Davies decides time to go back to Doctor Who's old ways and tell children everywhere that Christmas is where the Doctor dies.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we had 3 consecutive Doctors die at Christmas. Like, I was shocked
It's the
when
time of
the
year.
13th Doctor didn't.
It's
Exactly.
the time of year. But yes, go on. Let's hear your theories.
So, realistically, as I say, classic villain. Not sure who you'd use for that. Oh, you know who would be good for it? The Trickster from Sarah Jane.
Hmm.
Because I would like them to bring him back.
I don't know.
Um,
I need more information before I delve into my theories properly because we don't know anything about this. All we know
I'm
is
basically blind firing right now.
yeah, you are. You literally. I don't know.
I'm doing what I love to do on Call of Duty until it gets me killed.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I think Doctor Who's heading for an interesting area because haven't they already filmed pretty much the whole of the new series?
I think they have filmed the whole new series.
And like, but it's not coming out until like May next year.
Yeah.
So like they've got a year lead time on it. which worries me ever so slightly.
They've got 6 months at this point, but yeah.
Okay, go. It's November.
Yeah.
This
I know
year,
that there was a
this year,
bit
man.
where
It's time. I've lost time.
it's fine. It wouldn't surprise me if part of it's a holdover from, because I'm not sure how true it is, but I heard rumours that Russell T Davies originally wanted Church on Ruby Road to then be followed the following week with the start of that series, which also explains why Space Babies is such a terrible opener.
Yeah, it does, but that's what we normally used to get, didn't we? We used to get the
Well, no, we get the
Christmas
Christmas
one, and then
special,
we
and
used to have like a month off, and then it used to come back sort of February time.
yeah, February, March.
Hmm.
But I've heard rumours that he apparently wanted to go Christmas special, then literally New Year's Day start the series.
Which would make sense.
Yeah, and also, ironically, and I very rarely say this about episodes due to timing, it would have made Space Babies a better episode
Yeah, 100%.
because it would no longer be the opener.
Yeah, and 100%. And now that you've said it, I suspect, yeah, that's probably what.
And it wouldn't surprise me if he was trying to push for the same thing again this year, because we do know a thing with Russell T Davies is he is very much a keep pushing until you get what you want kind of writer.
Yeah, he very much is. But so it's interesting to see how it's going to happen. Have we got any more theories before we get back to the timey-wimey whale returns?
So we've done Susan.
Mm-hmm.
We've done
Mrs.
Flood.
We've done Joy to the World.
Yeah, I am convinced that next year, one thing that we're gonna have more classic villains.
Yeah.
And I think next year we will get one of the big three. Either the Daleks, the Cybermen, or the Master.
Don't know which one I want. Okay,
So
I think we need to put it to a vote. I think everyone who's watching this needs to put which classic villain they would like to see. Daleks, Cybermen, Master. Need to put it in the comments. I think we need to leave it to the universe to decide.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, actually, you probably wouldn't guess which one I'd want.
No.
I was gonna say you'll probably guess in 5 seconds which one I'd want, but
It'd be the Cybermen.
they're my favourite. But no.
Oh, okay.
Like, the Cybermen are my favourite Doctor Who villains.
Yes.
Barring the Master, I put him in a separate thing because he's ended up in this weird category where he's a villain most of the time, and then occasionally he switches sides right at the end.
Yeah.
He's not quite enough to be an anti-hero.
Yeah.
But because he does that switcheroo so often,
He does it so well.
But it's actually the Daleks.
Oh, that's a plot twist. I did not expect that because you normally grumble that we see the Daleks too much.
Yes, but I am also a strong proponent every Doctor should get at least one Dalek story, and it's currently up in the air as to whether or not the 15th Doctor will regenerate at the end of Series 2. I know that one of the rumours is that they filmed it in such a way that the finale leaves it open for him to regenerate at the end, like off screen.
Oh, that's I don't like that.
I
don't want that. No, because Disney.
I know screen regeneration.
I know what this is about. This is about Disney dollars, and I am not prepared to go down that road. Mm-mm.
Yeah, if they're gonna have him regenerate, and then it's like, oh, he doesn't want to come back for the whole episode to do it. Do what they did with the Sixth Doctor, kill him at the start.
Yeah, no.
Although saying that is also what they did with Patrick Troughton, because there was 18 months in between Patrick Troughton's last episode, The War Games.
Yeah.
And was it Spearhead from Space?
I don't know the episodes very well.
Spearhead from Space was John Pertwee's first episode.
Okay.
So there was actually an 18-month interval because they hadn't cast a new Doctor.
Yeah.
I think he was cast like 6 months before it aired or something. So there was a year where they didn't have one. So there's precedent for it, and if they do it in one last thing I want back.
Okay.
I want them to address the bit with using Sutek to bring back the entire universe. Give the Doctor a win.
You're still not over that, are you?
No, but give the Doctor a win. Just bring back the Time Lords in the same breath.
Okay.
Because Time Lords.
Right. Are you ready?
Rant over.
Are you ready for the will?
Yeah, and I know what I'm hoping doesn't come up. For context, where I'm living now, I do not have a TV license, which means I have to go to my mother's if I want to watch anything that's not in the
We
first
will make
series.
sure, right? I will make you a deal. If it's not an episode that you can easily, accessibly watch, we will change it. All right?
To be fair, if push comes to shove, I'll see about popping to my mum's this afternoon and quickly watching it at hers.
Okay, let's do this. Heaven Sent.
Huh?
Heaven Sent.
Heaven Sent and Hell Bent are a two-parter.
Yes.
Actually, it's a three-part because it starts with Face the Raven.
I don't have time to watch all of them.
Heaven Sent and Hell Bent?
Yeah. Heaven Sent, Hellbent.
Realistically, Face the Raven... I'll say it now, because of what they then went into, it wasn't the best episode. It was killed by Heaven Sent and Hellbent. But okay, yes, I have those both sat on the DVD shelf, so I can pop the disc into the PlayStation this afternoon and watch it.
Okay, so yes, so that's our next episode. We are going to be reviewing Heaven Sent, Hellbent. That should be good. I'm interested because I haven't seen these episodes since their initial like run. I haven't seen it.
Yes, this is the end of series 9.
Yep.
Which, to be fair, I have a massive love of most of Capaldi.
That's why I was really excited to see it. It was going towards season 9, and I was like, ooh, I like that.
Yeah. I'm massive fan of Capaldi's run. I actually think, particularly because, and I noticed this yesterday because I was around my mum's watching some Doctor Who. Not for this, just I went to see mum and Doctor Who was on. But I noticed that you had the dichotomy of Matt Smith's run starts off as the young man who is being quite young and quirky to the young man who's trying to be quite old.
Yeah.
When you look at the back end of series 7.
Yeah.
Capaldi's Doctor does the flip side of that. He starts off as the old man trying to be old, and by the end of it, he's trying to be a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
And it's just as cringy as you expect. It's beautiful.
So that's our next episode. And that'll be coming out 2 weeks after this one, I think. Nice. So this will be like the end of November that episode comes out.
Okay.
But we are getting back to it. We are trying to get back to doing this regularly. We are grown ups and things do happen.
Yeah.
But yes, so that's it from us tonight. We would like to hear your comments below. We would like to hear your suggestions. And if you don't want to comment below, send me a DM on Discord or on any of our socials. And yes. So
yeah, and please don't send me a DM because I'll get very confused and scared.
Yeah, he doesn't even answer my DMs half the time, so you know.
That's not my fault. I usually have notifications turned off on my phone.
He turns my notifications off.
It's not just you, it's everyone.
But yes, so we will catch you on the flip side. So stay lovely, stay logical.
In the vastness